right?
Yeah. We're just are we Kane? Are we just going live us two? I usually introduce it. All right. Well, I guess
You want me to
I
do
guess.
that? Just go live.
You guys are cooking now, huh? Two idiots.
1 second. Yeah, I guess this is how it goes today. It's pretty fitting. We got a special guest, so we pulled out all the stops today. Some say he's the biggest hater of the show. Some people, Kirk Minahan, say he's the biggest lover of the show, and I guess tonight we're gonna find out. He's been critical of the year so far. My good buddy Sneakers. How's it going, Sneakers? What's going on?
Great. Let's go. Yeah, great. What the fuck you want to do? Say hello?
Yeah, I did want to say hello. All right.
Yeah,
So
doing great.
So on my show, I don't know if you saw the other ones. Usually break down each show of the week, break down how Kirk did, how the guest did, all that kind of stuff. So we started off a little rough this week, that Monday show, with Clemmer and Jeff and Kirk, with the producers still in Boston. We had the audio issues. We had all kinds of, surviving talk. It was pretty boring and it was a little rough. What did you think about the show Monday?
Monday. Well, I mean, everyone knows every time Kirk goes back to Boston, it's one of the worst. It's usually one of the worst KMS shows of the week, if not the month. So again, they go back to Boston. You got the same fucking people in Jeff Lowe, Clemmer, and you can't hear shit. Can't hear the audio. Can't hear anything, and the show just sucks. It just there's no point in doing it. Just take the week off.
So you'd rather have no shows this week than
Have
try to fuck around in Chicago?
no show. He's in Chicago with his fake fucking bits, and you can't hear the show. And what's the point of
Yeah,
having Dave and what's the point of having Dave and Justin producing as well? I mean, they adding absolutely nothing to that show besides fucking the audio up.
yeah. That the audio was rough there. All of a sudden, I didn't know if my YouTube was fucked up or what it was. All of a sudden, I'm not hearing anything. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm not sure whose end it is that's getting fucked up, but it's got to be figured out. I agree with that. So
I mean,
I gave
Stephen Kirk recorded a show from a rental car that came in clearer than that.
in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Back in the day. That's true. That's true. It is tough. The audio is just always super tough when they're in Chicago, so I can't really disagree with that. So on that one, I gave Clemmer just a 78, just like a C plus. He was himself. He might have been the best one out of anybody. He was just okay. What would you give Clemmer?
Yeah, I gave him a 60. He just, again, just sitting there scared of Kirk and just he added nothing interesting. It was the same stuff every time. A theater near you. What are you doing? Nothing new.
No, I guess it was a lot of the same. I thought the stuff was pretty funny when Kirk's talking about spoiling Rat Race, and he's giving him a hard time about Rat Race essentially being Amazing Race, and he's just copying it. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
I have a
you're a
feeling you
dummy.
might disagree.
Yeah, well, I mean, for dummies like you, yeah, I guess that's funny.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Jeff, I think he did okay as a producer there. There's not much he can do. I gave him an 82, just a B minus. So
Yeah, we'll give Jeff a 52 on that one.
all right, so worse than Clemmer.
Yeah, worse. Yeah, he was definitely worse than Clemmer.
What
He has
makes
nothing
him
to do. He just sits there.
What makes him worse than Clemmer to you?
I mean, Jeff is just pandering to the Minute fans at this point. He's just desperate for any love he can get.
Hmm.
So I mean, having Jeff on is like, who cares? Big deal.
Yeah, and he's best buddies with Kirk, so I'd agree. I don't mind him, but he's not going to push back on stuff because they're besties. So that show overall, that was just a tough show. If you want to get into a little deeper, you haven't liked. I see every YouTube video, right? I watch it live, and you got the Z's going, the Z Z Z Z Z during every show. Like, this is boring. What's the problem, Ben, in your opinion? This new year for the show.
Well, 2025 is not started off hot for Kirk. And I'm not gonna blame the producers anymore because I mean Justin's not a producer. He just sits there and adds nothing. He just sits there and waits. He just piggybacks off of Dave, who is one of the laziest guys ever worked for the show. So I'm not even gonna blame the producers because Kirk already fired this guy 2 times and brought him back. So I'm putting the blame on Kirk. He just comes in the studio. They talk Survivor. A 30-year-old a 30-year-old ripoff game. And Kirk's acting like this is the biggest thing in the world. We got 500,000 views on YouTube, which is like big deal. It's not a big deal.
You didn't? Did you watch any of the surviving, or you just
I
don't tune in at
watched
all?
10 minutes of it. I'm like, who cares? I don't really care about a bunch of Barstool personalities trying to go viral.
Yeah, I mean, some of these people I have no interest in whatsoever, but I think, I like Dave, I like Kirk, I like Big Cat.
Y- Yeah, so you like them, but who cares? It's like they're all like the Kirk's whole thing is he wants to act like he's this bad boy in Survivor. He's gonna say something. He knows he's protected, and he was saying this stupid stuff like he said to Stephen Che or to Rico about cheating on his wife. It's just like it's so over the top and scripted.
What do you think about that stuff? You think it's just completely made up?
Just yeah, absolutely 1,000% made up. 1,000%.
So I think it's real in the moment, but I think it's weird to me. I have to be honest with the Big Cat stuff that it looked like he's going to be a real enemy and we're going to have a real deal enemy. And then all of a
If you fell
sudden
for
they're
that,
buddy buddy.
if you fell for that 4 months ago, then you're a bigger idiot than I imagined.
I knew it was going to be exaggerated a little bit, but I didn't think it was going to be this quick of like, all right, he's already on the show and they're buddy buddy like that quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, Big Cat's not a confrontational guy, so it's like again, Kirk kind of punches down in these situations too. He never goes after somebody that's going to punch back at him. He goes after guys like Clemma, Rico, you know, uh, Big Cat, who are not going to fight back. So he punches down in these moments.
Right. Who do you think he should punch if he's punching down? Who do you think he would be punching up against or equal?
I mean, he's friends with the other guys, so but like a Biz or Whitney, something like that. That's going to go back at him or Portnoy.
All right, I agree with the Portnoy one. I do like when they get after each other because Portnoy will say wild shit too. So they know anything goes when it comes to those two. I agree with that. So we get the
Well,
Monday show. Go ahead, Sneak.
well, just to keep going with the 2025 shows, it's the same thing every episode. We come in, we get the mud update.
Your favorite?
Kirk acts like he's disgusted by Clemma. They talk Clemma up like outside of KMS. He's like, oh, why? Oh, no, we got to talk about Clemma, but he brings up Clemma every single episode.
Okay. What do you think he should do different going forward, especially now that surviving is done?
Well, so what we're going to do is go right into the dozens now. There'll be dozens talk until that's over. So dozens will just replace Survivor talk.
What do you think would make the show good now? Do you think it's going to be
Oh, I'm
good,
gonna
or do you think
fucking
it's just going to be
no.
garbage for a while?
This is garbage because they're hanging their hat on the case. Like that's going to take off. Like these idiots don't even have a case to work on. So they're like, oh, we got they keep teasing these secret meetings with like networks, and it's like you morons don't even have a like Dave's scrambling to find anything any case to work on. So if that's what they're focused on, it's like I mean we can all agree season 2 was absolutely garbage of a podcast.
It was not great compared to the first season. I really, really enjoyed that first season. I got super into it, but the season 2, I just couldn't get as much into it as the first one.
And it's laughable that they they keep saying that they solved the murder in the season 2. It's like, yeah, the FBI was just sitting on their asses and they heard that piece of shit podcast and reopened the investigation.
Right. Yeah, the first season
So
was great. The second season was a little shaky. I'm going to consume anything that Kirk puts out, but
so it's either just do the case full time and stop, because KMS is suffering. I mean, the show sucks. It hasn't been one good episode.
I don't agree. I think there's been a handful of pretty good ones, but I don't think
Which one?
there have been some stinkers too.
Which one? Because they're all forgettable. As soon as that show ends, they're all forgettable.
I think the phone call Fridays have been good. I think they got to work more phone calls in to get some material and get some of that old school, like the feel of the sports talk. Not in that they're talking sports, but the callers that are
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
actually
definitely
get
needs
shit
definitely need
going,
some more
and
phone calls.
they
Need more
start
phone calls
talking
to guys
about dumb
asking
shit.
Kirk what movie he's watching.
Right. Well, agree to disagree on that one. And then,
Yeah.
so Monday show, I can agree with you that it wasn't great, but to me, even a bad KMS is still going to be better than a lot of other shit. So then we got to wait till Friday. He cancels the one on Thursday. Which what'd you feel about that when he said he wasn't going to do it Thursday?
What I feel about moving it to Friday? I don't give a shit.
Well, it was going to be 2 shows. I thought it was going to be Thursday and Friday, and all of a sudden it was only Friday.
Oh, I thought they were just doing 2 shows. Just doing 2 shows. But if Thursday,
Maybe I
Friday, who cares?
misunderstood.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Thursday or Friday, what's the big deal? I mean, that Friday show, I mean, was it Boston Joe that was in?
Yeah,
Oh, God. Well, he was overshadowed by Kirk's and Big Cat's therapy session. I mean, that's what that show was.
yeah, I agree with that. What did you think of Boston Joe overall?
Just like he just there to promote his own band.
Yeah, you a big white guy reggae guy or no?
No, I mean, I only like black reggae.
Yeah, just the
Yeah,
real
that's why.
deal, not the
Yeah,
pretend one.
yeah, I'm not into that white fake reggae shit.
That's fair. That is fair. I think I gave him a 76, so I thought he was just an average third chair.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
again, he had more confidence than most third chairs. He actually wouldn't shut up when you wish he would shut up. So,
that's
but again,
fair. I think
he's been on before, so everyone knew what, I mean, Dave knew what he was getting with that idiot. But Dave's a dummy.
tell me what you think about Dave, his booking so far in this year.
His bookings have sucked. His problem with the bookings, he's so stupid. First of all, when you have like a Ted Sellers in, you don't need another guy with him. Just have him in with Kirk. When you have Bio Dude in, why are you bringing in Ted Sellers in Bio Dude? Just let that dummy Bio Dude go off on his own. Because now you get Ted Sellers in there. It's just there's too many people in the room.
Yeah. All right. So Boston Joe, man, and I thought Blind Mike. He's been one of the stronger parts this year.
Thank you,
He
BA.
had a decent show on BA in the chat. I think he had a decent show. I gave him an 82. He's a good laugh track, and he had a good couple comments there talking about trivia because was Conan saying that trivia is an easy Google, and Mike's like, oh yeah, all trivia is an easy Google.
Right. I mean, again, that's why Dave Culline's a moron. Remember, he used to say he used to get into the studio at 6 a.m. to, to get ready for the
To get
show.
away from his kids.
Is he still doing that? Because he's out of stories as soon as he gets in there.
I think he has been a little bit lackadaisical. I like Dave, but I think he's been a little lax with some of this stuff. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
he's a nice
And
guy,
Justin.
but
I mean, what's Justin doing?
I don't know.
He just sits next to Dave and just like Justin's like just like he's scared that Kirk's on call on him.
Yeah, I think he can definitely be like that. He needs to be doing more man on the street, more stupid videos. Like that's what makes the show is the dumb stuff, the inside jokes. My
There's
hope
no
is
reason
that
for two producers.
you don't think so. Just one.
Well, yeah, you got two guys sitting there for a show that's 6 hours a week. You got two producers. You got an intern. Like, why isn't Justin cutting the clips up and putting the timestamps in? He's not doing anything else.
Yeah, they got that. They got the famous intern, my good buddy Fax. Another drip. What do you think about
It's like,
Fax?
oh, I'll do the timestamps. Well, I'll do the timestamps, right? So it's Chris Klemmer, Mutt, Survivor slash Dozens, then a couple of shitty stories from Twitter. Timestamps are done. And who's really going through KMS on Spotify and jumping around on the
I
timestamps?
don't. I don't think a lot of people are jumping.
Right. It's so stupid. Like you don't need doesn't even need the timestamps. Oh,
the Minifan.
I'm gonna skip to the big cat therapy session.
Yeah, some people might be doing that because that was pretty electric. You're right about that one. But most Minifans are just listening to the whole thing. I don't think Minifans are really skipping around too much. The only
No.
time I skip is if sometimes if it's an ad, and the one thing I will say, like with the ads, he used to make it like a story. Well, we've had a couple of references lately. We get the Troll Socks reference. If you remember with Getro Man, he had the stupid little character and stuff. You got DEC playing the character, if I
Right, but they
remember
don't do that
correctly, or
anymore.
the other
The
guy.
only the only timestamp they should have is when the game starts, so you can fast forward the games because the games are fucking brutal. So just put
You're
in
not
what time they do the game, so you can skip right over that.
not a game guy.
Oh, the games are so bad. It's just these
Have
idiots
you
coming in. It's just these fanboys coming in trying to ask Kirk trivia questions.
have you liked any games ever, or just no games?
No, the games are so stupid. It's just a time. It's just a time filler for the show because it bails the producers out because they have nothing. Like, oh, we got a game, so that's 20 minutes.
Mm. So yeah, this week, we only get two shows. I guess that's why he jammed five in last week. I think last week was much better. I don't know what the schedule is for this week, but I'm hoping
I thought they said Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I could be
they
wrong.
they might have. It's been a couple of days. The last one was Friday, so I'm hoping that I can get in the studio at some point and maybe make it a little more
They,
interesting
they,
for you.
they should have you in instead of these guys like was it Bish, Boston Joe. So this week they have Mama K coming in. It's like, oh great.
I think Mama K was okay her first appearance. But I don't know what the way to go is for Dave. Is it repeat people or kind of keep that rotating third, give people a chance? He's got the long bench. Who do you think he's got on this bench?
The bench sucks. I mean, again, you have one guy come in, have one third chair in without anybody else. Like, have you in? Why not? I mean, again, he says he doesn't answer his DMs. He's sitting around doing nothing all day. He can't even check his DMs.
Well, we know he's not looking after his kids. His mom is. So I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's drinking in the parking lot at school events. I'm not sure what Dave Cullinan's doing
It's
out there,
just
but
it's just wild to have all these guys in at this. Let's throw in Bio Dude and Ted Salas at the same time. Let's throw in Blind Mike and 13. Just have one guy. Then actually that might force Kirk to actually do something. Just sit on his ass and wait for the producers to throw a story at him. So that might actually push Kirk to do an interesting show because the days of Kirk coming in and making anybody in that studio interesting it's been long gone.
I'm not so sure. But I think it hasn't been ultra sharp lately. I think even even his worst days, he's good. But I think he could use some people in there to bounce some stuff off of. Like I'm a big Ted Sellers guy. I think Ted has some good comments and good jokes and little
He should be by
stories.
himself. Instead, he's with Bio Dude. So now Bio Doug's talking, and now Ted Sallis got to get a couple of his one-liners in at the same. He's forcing. He just have him in by himself. Just like
Mm,
Batanti, have Batanti in by himself. That dummy.
yeah, actually, you know what? We haven't seen Montante in a while. I wouldn't mind seeing Montante, his dumb ass.
Well, he
You
again. He another huge idiot that he believed the big cat fight. He wants to believe it. He's like, oh no, I think that was real. That those guys are really mad at each other. It's like, no, they're not. They're not mad at each other over a stupid game where the principle of the game is to backstab and vote people out.
Mm. I Yeah, I think Kirk was just mad with how he did it and how he said, this is going to affect our friendship, and then he goes and stabs him.
Right. Well, I mean,
We we know
if they
Kirk
went
is
another
super
round, it was
reactive.
just if they went a few more episodes, somebody would have to backstab somebody to get them out, right? That's the name of the fucking game.
That's true. Are you a Rhea guy?
No, no, I'm not a big Barstool. I'm not a Barstool
No.
guy. No.
What do you consume other than the Kirk Minahan show?
Oh, well, what was it? A fucking
Interview with
AMA?
Sneakers?
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what the comparisons are and stuff like that.
No, I mean,
Um,
I've said it 1,000 times. I'll listen to some hockey podcasts. I'll listen. It's not chicklets either. Put it that way.
no.
But there's a thing called music. You guys ever hear that? Might listen to some music
Uh,
during the day.
I don't think Andy Mayo's heard of music. I think he just listens to the podcast over and over again and says annoying stuff. I did run into him. I've run into him many times now in town. It's pretty funny.
See,
I
I,
was
I
hanging with
like
him
when
the other
Mayo's in the
day.
studio. I like when he's in the studio, but again, all that does is if when Mayo's in the studio, just have the producer stay home that day because I don't know what because they don't do anything besides they just let him ask every question he wants to ask. So just have Mayo be the producer in the third chair because Dave and Justin just sit there anyway, stare at him.
If it
It's pretty
isn't
much a day off.
if it isn't Dave and Justin, who would you have in there? Steve Robinson?
I'm not the
If
brains
you
behind the
had your
fucking
way,
network.
if you had
I,
your
I,
way,
I think you just hire somebody fucking that's not associated with the fucking world.
you think that? Yeah, I think looking back now, I think Coleman was a pretty good character. I had him on last week, and he's a dummy,
Me,
and he somehow manages to bring some stuff to the table.
well, I just don't know why Coleman was forced to do all these like stupid bits, like go to Canby Lake, and you don't see Coleman doing that stuff. So why? So if Coleman was the lead producer, why was he like Kirk's clown? Like, hey, I want you to go do this stupid bit. I want you to go up to fucking the
Hmm.
Portland Theater. You don't see Coleman getting asked to do that stuff. So it was kind of again, Kirk sucks as a boss. He's a horrible leader.
Mm. Um. So 2 shows this week.
Yeah, you already said
One
that.
in my Yeah, I might have said that once or twice. 2 shows this week. We got the first one, Barstool. No, it's gonna be rough. I gave that a 76. Second one, I gave an 80. I thought Friday's show wasn't bad, but I was kind of upset they didn't take calls. They've been on a roll with the calls. So
Oh, they had the
overall
big
this
cat
week,
because they had big cat come in and that big beef that they had. 5 months of teasing that. It's like, oh Jesus Christ. So what's Monday's episode now? We'll get a little mutt update. We'll get
mm,
a Patriots update. You know, because now KMS is the new like we got to talk about the Patriots every single Monday now, which I don't know why. Again because they have nothing else to talk about.
do you watch the producer shows when they're on?
No, it was so bad. I had it on the job site, and someone yelled at me to take it off, so I took it off the radio.
People's ears started bleeding.
They're like, "What the fuck you putting on?"
They said we'll listen to anything except for those
It
two
just
fucking
the producer
morons.
show. Like, don't do the producer show. Really don't. It's so stupid. Because then they talk about the same stuff on the KMS show.
That is funny though. I think that's accidentally funny when Dave tries to bring up the producer show stuff
It
with
just be
Kirk, and
nice
he's like,
this week for Kirk to actually do a show. Instead of just sitting there in the chair like he comes in like with this huge ego. He walks in, doesn't say anything. They're all scared of him in the studio. Like, come in, do a fucking show. I don't know. I mean, he's the laziest podcaster going. I mean, these guys don't have a
"Wow,
band yet for Laconia. Again, another half-ass show they'll just throw together. I'm sure they'll get a video from Big Cat. They'll get some more videos, Survivor videos, and a couple karaoke songs, and same old live show.
Have you been to any of the live shows? This is going to be my first one.
I've been to the Wilbur, Portland, Madawaska, which Madawaska was their
That
best
must
shows.
have been an absolutely epic one. You got drunk Mike there acting a fool.
I was at Madawaska too, so he wasn't he was he
Oh,
wasn't drunk.
one and two. Oh, just two.
I went to the second one when Carano was the producer.
Hmm. Yeah, he's big at the rest stops. That's
But
what I heard.
yeah, but these live shows are so there's the same thing every live show now.
How many more are you going to go to?
I'm not going to any more live shows until like the theater shows suck. I don't need to go to a live show to see Kirk dance around the studio singing Springsteen cover songs. Then watch a couple of videos from Big Cat, Matati, Mayo, and Kevin from Bristol. No thanks.
Well, good news as far as Kevin from Bristol goes is we'll finally get Kevin from Bristol in studio.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be good.
Actually, are you being sarcastic?
No, well, Kevin, he's too much on his bits. He's always in character.
Yeah, I think he might end up annoying Kirk.
When you have super
That
fans in studio, it's like if I can make a wish.
well,
It's just
no,
these
Make a
guys.
Wish was Bish.
It's
Bish
just
was
these
Make a
guys
Wish.
get super fans and they just want to blow. They're happy to be there. So it's just like they had nothing. They had nothing. All they do is ask Kirk questions that
Right.
that they want to get answered. It's like who cares? Go fucking send a
You
DM.
you got any tips for what to do when you're going to a live show?
No, there's no tips.
Nothing
Don't
to make it
don't
better.
yeah. Don't try to sexually assault any females like Wagon.
Oh, I'll try my best on that one. I usually don't partake in that type of stuff if I can help it,
But yeah,
especially
no,
when with a girlfriend.
yeah, no tips. Just go there. Whatever. Cause you're going to
Laconia's my
Laconia.
first
You're in
one.
Laconia in March. It sucks.
Yeah, I heard it's beautiful that time of year.
Yeah.
Probably be about a foot of snow. So my grades for the overall week, Kirk with an 80. What do you got for Kirk this week?
Kirk gets a 55 again. Laziest guy podcasting. He definitely brings nothing to the shows anyway. Just sits there.
All right. Agree to disagree. Dave, I gave a 76. What do you got for Dave Cullinane, the lead producer?
The lead producer. So the audio sucked on Monday, and Friday he just sat there and did nothing Friday. So he gets a 30.
A 30.
Yeah, 30.
Wow, that's a rough one. That might hurt him a little bit because he can be a sensitive guy.
Whatever. And it's not his fault for being stupid. Kirk hired him back. We all knew what everyone knew what you were getting with him.
Right. And Justin 78.
78. These are some high scores. Some high scores for someone that the audio was brutal on Monday and they did absolutely nothing on Friday.
All right, you got me on that one. I'm gonna go.
No,
I'm gonna
no,
make.
listen. Stick with your shitty scores because you gotta keep facing
I
them.
gotta
But
keep up the
Justin,
bet. I gotta
yeah,
keep up
Justin
the bet.
25 does nothing again.
25, even
Yeah.
worse than Dave. What
What's he
makes him
doing?
worse than Dave this week?
He just sits there. At least Dave, at least Dave's throwing out his stupid stories. Justin just sits there.
Like a blob.
And you couldn't even Google. I think Kirk asked him a question to look something up, and the guy couldn't even Google it.
That was rough when he was asking about. First, he was asking about his picks, like which picks he had, and Justin was pretending to know what picks he had, and then he's like looking through his papers, and Cullinane's defending him, and then
Well,
he's asking
two
about the oldest
stooges.
person in the world.
Two stooges behind the glass. Absolutely zero. This is like Access TV. There's no reason to have these two guys producing. Two producers.
You think one is the way to go?
Yeah, one. And it's not one of these guys.
What about Sneakers the producer? What do you think
No,
about that?
I'm not a fucking producer. Right? Just a
What
show
are you?
critic. Just a show
Just
critic.
all right. The Cisco and Ebert of the
Yeah,
Kirk
yeah.
Minahan show.
And everyone's like, "Oh, well, then don't watch, don't watch." It's like I can't stop watching. I I can't believe how bad the show has gotten. So it's like, wow, it's like I can't turn away now. It's so
It's like
bad.
a car wreck. It's like a
It pretty
car wreck.
much
You
is just
just can't.
like how can a show go from great to like just like piss poor so in 5 years?
You think it was the best towards the beginning?
Yeah, well, yeah, no shit.
I'd have to say my favorite stuff was a lot the Steve Robinson stuff when there was a new bit like every day, like aunts versus ants, and they
Right.
go
And
off
that,
on
again,
tangents for
that
like
was
40 minutes on some
now
stupid shit.
that was must listen. There was no skipping around. Like I can just jump in at any time of the episode, and it's gonna be the same shit. Did they talk about Clemmy yet? Did they go back to Mutt? Then they circle back to the same stories about 40 minutes into the show. They'll circle back and talk about the same story again.
So you seem to dislike Mutt, or maybe at least the talk about Mutt.
Well, again,
Um,
he kicked off the show, right? You know, kicked banned for a year, but let's talk about him every single show. Let's
it is
talk
a
about
little
Clemmer
odd that he gets
every
banned and
single
then they
show
talk about him.
because they have nothing else to talk about. They need to kill time. Just like Clemmer. Kirk acts like he's like above Clemmer and he's better than Clemmer, but he brings up Clemmer every single show.
You think Clemmers is equal?
I mean, is he? I guess so. I mean, they both work at Barstool. I mean, is Kirk making any money for Barstool? Probably not. Is Clemmer? No. So I guess they are equal.
Definitely Clemmer isn't, unless Rat Race is going to be all of a sudden $1 million idea. I don't know where he
But
came up with that concept.
oh, but every single show, Clemmer. Clemmer did this. See, Clemmer did that. What's Clemmer up to? Call Clemmer. And it's like,
Hmm.
gee, Clemmer's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple equals.
Yeah,
Um,
couple duds.
so we got those guys. I did have one question. If you got the choice to ban anybody, if you ended up with that decision, who would you ban and why?
Uh, uh, well, I can't ban the producers, right? I think I just would. Yeah, it would be funny to ban Blind Mike.
Just because he's a huge part.
Just because it's funny, because then you have they lose their crutch there.
You're a blind Mike guy.
I like Blind Mike. Yeah, he's a pussy, but he lost his balls. Just fake laugh. Like I between when him and Cinema are in there and the fake laugh and back and forth on everything Kirk says, it's like Jesus Christ. They're
Oh,
so scared not to laugh at Kirk's jokes.
give me a grade for cinema because it sounds like you're not a cinema guy.
I like Cinema. When he's on the show, I've never seen a guy fake laugh more than that guy. Every story, it's like he's sitting in the room with Chappelle every time Kirk says something.
It's like
It's
Mike
unbelievable.
listening to Bill
It's
Burr.
unbelievable to be an adult man and that much of a fanboy.
All right, I'm gonna rattle off a couple names for you. For people who come in, I want you to give me a grade.
All
Steve
right,
from Gloucester,
Steve Gloss is fuck him. I'm gonna get that loser agreed.
John from Scranton.
John's all right. He talks. John's all right. Yeah, fucking see.
All right. And last but not least, I think you like this one. We got Bio Dude, one of my personal
I
favorites.
I
Fellow
like
autist.
Baidu because he's so autistic and he's like a autistic genius. And every time he starts get cooking, he got shut off by either Cullinane or the other third chair. It's like let this autistic genius go because because it takes him a while to get comfortable in there because he's so scared. But
If you,
I like to see him back in there like by himself.
I think Bio Dude's great. I think he's funny. Like the games he brings, just the fact he did Price is Right is kind of fucking funny to me. I don't know what it is about it.
And he brings the Star Wars helmet in that he made. Like the guy is a complete lunatic, but
Yeah, I agree.
you don't get to see it because Dave's so stupid, and he puts another guy in there to clog him
So
up.
kind of overshadow.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Dave's so dumb he can't think on his own. He's so scared of everything that he has to have like 8 guys in the studio.
Yeah, I think it can be too much when they got like two or like definitely when they have three, it's out of control. Like that one with Steve from Gloucester, Bio Dude, and then there was another person with them. It was just a little bit too much. It's like the Yak or something.
Yeah, it's like you don't need all these, especially all these people who have nothing to say either, because the two producers have nothing to say. Then you got three third chairs who don't really have much to say.
Do you think you'll ever be in studio again?
Probably not.
No?
I don't think so. I mean, I have a job. I'm not gonna take a day off. If the show got better, maybe. But what the fuck am I going there for? Bring a game?
Yeah, you hear that, Kirk Minahan? If the show
We'll
gets
talk.
better,
Well, I'm gonna talk about chicken fry.
you could talk about chicken
Yeah,
fry. Yeah.
it's same shit. The same shit every episode.
Mick and Fry.
Yeah.
We
Oh
got
yeah,
a root
Mick
for
too.
Mick and Fry.
We got Mick slammed down our throats too. Mick. Well, Mick did this. Mick's not going to New York. Mick's not like, doing this. Mick tweeted. It's like, well, great. Fucking move on. That's all you have.
And
Same shit.
just for the future too, I want to say we were talking about Blind Mike earlier. He said he will come on the Brando show, which I thought was
Oh, that's
very
huge.
kind of him because he doesn't owe me anything, and I think Mike's a nice guy.
And before you end the show, tell that menace that fucking loser telling me I'm unreliable. The show was scheduled at 8 o'clock all week long for a week and a
Hmm.
half, 8 p.m. Then I see a tweet from these two idiots, the Tommy Quinlan show at 8 p.m. Like these guys can't even get their network in order again.
Hmm.
So again, I'm flexible, so I went to 7 o'clock, but my dinner was taking too long, so we went to 7:30.
Yep. And then you went to 7:30, and then you wanted to go at 7:10, and then
Well, I
you're saying,
finished
"What
up,
the
yeah,
fuck" to me? You wanted to be on right then and there.
ready to
I
go.
understand. Yeah, you're ready to rip. So now, usually towards the end, we'd take some questions from the chat. So if anyone wants to have some questions for Sneakers, uh, that's not really a question. That's more of a
Really,
comment.
it's called the fade, stupid.
Oh,
Bula, hold on. Bula's the biggest loser. This guy lives by himself with his cats. He hasn't seen the sun. He doesn't go out. He's got no friends. His only friends is the PlayStation party and the farm. This guy is no fuck Bula.
what else we got? What is your preferred latte now that
Oh,
the
great question.
PSL season is over?
So for some reason, after the holidays, it's pistachio season. So nice pistachio latte is what I'm is my go-to right now.
What is PSL?
Pumpkin spice.
Oh, all right, pumpkin spice latte. I'm not a big pumpkin guy myself overall. Maybe
Well
I'll be a
lost.
pistachio guy. Oh, we got this one, not a question, but Tommy Quinlan saying Sneakers is hot.
It's huge. That's huge for anytime gay guys. That's a compliment. But Tommy Quinlan's got to be the worst dressing gay guy I've ever seen in my life. Guy has no style.
Maybe because he's new to the gay thing, he hasn't really gotten used to it yet. We got Freddie Lynn. That's not really a question. That's more of a comment. We have any
Again,
actual
like you can't
questions?
you can't even blame the producers, right? At some point, you gotta say it's the Kirk Minahan show. Like, do your fucking show instead of relying on Justin and Dave to do your whole show. Like,
Mm,
if I was Kirk, I'd come in and go, just turn your mics off because you guys add shit to the fucking episode. So just turn your mics off. Dave should never be speaking. It's horrible.
just be silent.
Yeah, there's no need to hear from him. Just add him. You ask him a question here and there.
All right. Sneakers. What is Menner's best show? Men of Fandom, Menner's Live, or Tiny CEO? What one are you picking?
Oh, the old school Men's Live was was the uh was the best one.
I'm a Menner's Live guy. I've called in a couple times. I think it's pretty good. We got Benjamin Larson. What can each of you two bench? Which is funny because we had a phone call and you're asking me about the supplements and stuff like that. That was pretty good. I don't take nothing. I just eat a bunch. I bench
Right.
about 325 right now, somewhere
Wow.
around
So,
there.
see, chest is my worst muscle, so I can max out. I can only get 225 up by like 4 times.
That's pretty good. That's still pretty solid. Especially because you're what, like 5 foot tall, or
I'm 5'9", stupid.
all right. I'm 5'11", but I
Oh,
exaggerate
wow,
and make it six
you're a
foot.
fucking giant.
Yeah,
5'11", fucking average height. 5'9" is average height.
yeah, it is. It is. I'm just fucking with you.
5'10" of boots.
Now this Ashley Burt girl, she looks pretty cute. She says, "Are you single?" I'm not, unfortunately. So, but I got a girlfriend. You know, the Brando is locked down right now. Wow,
Wow.
Tommy Quinlan called me out. Maybe I'll have to do a video for Planet Fitness. I mean, it's on a Smith machine.
Oh,
That
Smith
that doesn't
machine. So here we
exactly
go.
count, but I think I could put it. I think I could do it fairly easily. Free weight. I've gotten it a couple for two before on Smith. So, all right. Well, sneakers. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a Smith machine, Mikey grab bags. That's all Planet Fitness has got. I'm working with what I got. Okay, I'm just trying to get jacked at Planet Fitness. Quinlan was not right, Don. All right. Now I'm arguing with the chat like a maniac. So this is the third episode of the Brando Show with sneakers. I appreciate you coming on. You were the first person to demand to be on the show. I guess that's an accomplishment for me. You got anything left to say to Kirk Minahan or anything about the
Nope.
show before we
No,
call it
we
a
got
night?
Fawns. No, we got some Fawns golf tournament coming up soon. The new Fawns golf will be out this spring. So Fawns Dynasty coming up. PGA Tour.
All right. I'm not even sure what that means, but I think it has something to do with the video game. Is it the video games you guys play?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
All right.
The one that
All
Gus
right.
ripped
Well,
off of.
oh, Gus stole your idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sneakers, I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming on the Brando show. Hopefully the shows get a little better so you can enjoy them again.
I hope so. All right, take it deep. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Kane, you want to just take him out? All right. Well, interesting show. Sneakers, a little different vibe than the last couple. Some say he's a show hater. Some people, like Kirk Minahan, say he's the biggest fan of the show. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I figured I would have him on, let him voice his opinion. We accept all types of people here on the Brando show. So that's pretty much that. I want to thank my buddy Kane Train for being the producer. And make sure you watch Hot or Not after this. And Tommy Quinlan, I'm not lying. So with that said, we'll see you in a week. We'll see who we got on the Brando show. Thanks.